told the lady at American Cookies, and she said that she reported it. So as long as she reported it, then I know it's not going to happen to the next guy, hopefully. Because those things are really frustrating because they go by GPS. They're like, what's this person doing picking up the order 7 miles away when there's no cookie shop over there? You know, and then it takes like 20 minutes to get over here. And, you know, they want their cookies 30 minutes ago. I don't know if it's a hacker that can do it, but imagine if someone walked into your business and, let's say, picked up your office desk and, let's say, the place that you worked and moved it 10 miles away. And that would change everything about the person's life. You know, they'd have to plan differently when they're buying gas. You know, it'd be really weird. That's exactly kind of what happened. Because I accepted the order 7 miles back. It's hard to describe. You'd have to be a delivery person to really understand it. So as long as the worker there reports it, whether she reports it or not, I don't know. But as long as she reports it, then they can see that there's an issue. But the person that does logistics can look on a map and clearly see through Google Earth or through another map that there's no American Cookie way out there. That the American Cookie can only be accepted at the mall. Right. As in accepting the order. So we'll find out. It could be just a glitch. Usually what it'll do is if you try to accept it too far away, it'll say not in the area. The only problem is the map takes you to that area. It doesn't take you to the mall. I had to manually put in the address to the mall to get there. So I had to type in the address to the mall, put it in there, then go to the mall myself and pick it up. I had to do the research myself, which isn't a bad thing. It's not bad. But it makes us look bad because we have to follow the protocol of the app only. So there's nowhere to pick up cookies 7 miles over there. So who knows who's doing what, but I don't know if they're pushing the pin around or something like you can do with Uber. If you're trying to get an Uber to pick you up, you can push the pin around and have Uber pick you up in a different area, things like that. But listen, the good guys, they will win. Tell you, these cookie drops, these cookie delivery drops, very, very intense. They're pretty intense. Something about cookies, I don't know what it is. People get emotional over cookies. Now, the place seemed okay at the mall. They weren't like flipping out or anything, demanding cookies. But they always seem weird. I remember back when I was working with DoorDash, there was a place called the Cookie Crumbles. And it was kind of some weird drops. They were weird delivery drops. Also a good place too to eat is Cookie Crumbles. This one's called American Cookie, so I'm okay. You know, it's fine. I'll drop it off at your door. It's not a problem. It's weird. I'm not used to that happening. And the reason why I'm getting emotional about it, or somewhat emotional about it, I'm not throwing a big fit. The reason why I'm getting a little, you know, stiff in my britches kind of thing about it is because we're clocked on time. You know, time is everything. So why is this guy way over here? Why is it taking him so long to deliver these cookies? You know, it's hard to say. You know, it's hard to say. And I'm looking at the time. The time's all messed up on it. So it says 7:59. I'll tell you what they expect. Because we have an ETA. We have an estimated time of arrival that we have to go by, and we also have to be considerate to the public. So let me tell you the times, and we'll look at the times together and we'll discuss it. All right. So I did look at the original ETA, 7:15 p.m. Now this is where we're sitting on time right now. Now, I'm going to tell you at this point, about right here or a little bit further, actually a little bit further down, is where they had me drive to accept the order, okay? And they kept the original ETA. That makes the driver nervous, okay? So if they can manipulate that ETA a little bit, that original ETA, and then show the new ETA next to it, then we know that we're not in trouble. Because listen, I can tell you, it's physically impossible to pick up those American cookies and the time that you asked me to pick them up because of where the GPS was located for the pickup. You had me pick it up right near the drop-off, which was nowhere near the mall, okay? All they have to do to solve that problem is keep the original ETA and add new ETA next to it, showing that there's a new ETA and that you don't have to flip out, you know? Because I'm going exactly 55. Well, 57 now. Well, 56. Well, 57. Anyway, we'll drop them off. Okay, we'll drop the cookies off at your door. I'm glad that you ordered them. It's not your fault. It's just some kind of weird system, and we'll find out why. I think America should do about its problem, you know, with not only Corona, but with everything. Why don't we try like a third party, you know, like Libertarian Party or something like that, or a Liberty Party? What about the Liberty Party? Where it's a party that exists stating that I'm not here to control the way that you think. I'm not here to cast judgment upon you, and I will eliminate all laws that cross that border of judgment. I think that's a good law. You know, a law saying that I am not allowed to judge you no matter what. That'd be a good party to vote on, you know? So, as bad as it is and things that are going on, I still have no right to judge you for your thought process. And I should allow you to be able to think freely on however you want to think. It's like the Free Will Act, you know? Isn't that kind of what our country is all about anyway? Like, we have too much judgment upon other people, and it starts to kind of hurt other people. I'm not judging you for getting American cookies. I think American cookies are great. But what I'm trying to say is that why not have a party, and I'm not talking about Republican, and I'm not talking about Democrat. So, I'm not talking about the current parties. Remember, Abraham Lincoln was a national party. He was part of the National Party. He wasn't either. It was a different party, if you look it up. Okay? But what I'm trying to say is that I have no right, I'm going to go by it and videotape that in a minute, but I have no right to make you think any way at all. I have no right to tell you how you should think. And you should have the right to think however you want and believe. And whatever ideas you want to come up with is perfectly fine. And you have the right to follow those ideas freely, just like liberty is supposed to be. Okay, there we go. Now we gotta look at that Christmas show. This is when we have a lot of extra footage of Christmas lights. Sorry, my alarm went off. had to head back around. But we've got a lot of Christmas lights going on. And I was raised not too far from this area, although it's changed. This was all just woods and fields and trees when I was younger. None of this was even here. Isn't that something? Isn't that nice? So they have this digital display of Santa. It's like a digital video. And I've seen it before. It won, I think, the Yard of the Year. And it's right over here. We're gonna head back and continue on in a moment. But it's right over here. I forgot the name of this area. I vlogged it, I think, last Christmas too. For some reason it brings me way out here. That may have been when the whole cookie thing was kind of weird to bring me back over here. They won some awards and everything, so we probably will go to some Christmas displays this year. This is in the Bear Creek Neighborhood Center. So Tamaron is the name, but it had won some awards, and it's this yard right over here. 12:35, then 12:25, and then 12:15. So it's 12:15 is the address.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. All right, here we go. Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
So they're stating they don't want anybody to walk on their property, but it's still cool that they offer it.
Up on the housetop, reindeer paws.
Probably some copyright issues, but still pretty cool though. They don't want you like walking on the property. Now some of them do allow you to walk on the property. There was one that we went to when David was very young, and I think maybe Elizabeth was pretty young too. They were like toddlers, but we went to this one where it was just an amazing amount of light, mostly LED lights. And they won it was a Texas winner of the best house. You know, it won like an international or national television show. We went there and got to take photos and walk around, go in their backyard, sit down. They actually opened their house for Christmas. Now they don't. You can only drive through on that one. That one won the neighborhood of Bear Creek right there, Tamaron. But the one that won, I don't know where it's at. I don't remember the area that it's at, but I know it's Texas. And it's a pretty long drive, but it's amazing the amount of light that they used. Way more than that. But that was a lot right there. They've even added on from the last year. This is right down the road by Strathmore. But it's amazing the amount of light that this other one, and then they won, like, I think it's like the best Christmas yard in the nation, and it was Texas. I don't know if they won the next year, but you had to walk through it. You could tell when you I mean, this made the Chevy Chase movie look ridiculous. I mean, it made the Chevy Chase movie, you know, Vacation Christmas, look humble. You know, it looked like, oh, you talking about lights? Let me show you lights. Didn't ask them their electric bill or anything, like what it, you know, I don't have no idea what they're paying. They probably cut a deal with TXU. This is off of Continental Boulevard. But regardless, the other one, which is way out kind of in the country in Texas, I mean, it was amazing. You walk through it and there's like a live action Santa Claus, robotic elves, you know, all this, you know, that music there was kind of creepy, real. You know, when you drive up and roll the window down, you hear Santa talking. It sounds very realistic, like it's coming from Bose speakers or something very real. It was actually kind of creepy, but it was cool. Totally cool. You know, I give them a big thumbs up. But that one only had a little sign that said don't walk on the property. Now the other one, you can walk on the property. You can even go into parts of the house. I think you could. You at least go in the back where the patio was, and you just sit down and take a photo, and they had Christmas music playing, and you know, like speakers and all this stuff, you know, in the trees. And it's just an amazing amount of creativity that goes into Christmas lights, you know. Now, personally, my own experience with Christmas lights is I've had none. So I've never hung Christmas lights. Now, my dad, when we were younger, I think he hung some Christmas lights, but it was very mild. Stuff that you could hang like outside the window and stuff like that, you know, where there were Christmas lights. But I'm talking about my own personal experience, because I did have a house, and almost bought a house with my family, but we only were able to rent it. We were trying to rent to own this one house. And we did talk about Christmas lights, but we decided, I think, just to do like a sign or like a wreath or something like that, which I think is just as okay, you know. You don't have to go full on with big time Christmas lights. I mean, you can if you want, but it costs you. It's not for free. It's a lot of fun though. Now, this place that I'm talking about, I'm gonna probably do some research and find out where it's located. But it's a tremendous amount of lights. We're talking like at least I can't even get a number on how many lights they use. They did tell you there was some facts that you could read some facts about it online to see how many lights they used, how much power it generated. This thing made national news. That's how big this ordeal was. The strange thing about this winter is it's tucked away in the middle of the neighborhood where there's not a lot of lights in the other neighborhoods. There are some because of their yard, but you're just kind of driving around going, huh? All of a sudden you go around the corner, and it's kind of on a bend, so you bend around, then all of a sudden you see this great amount of light coming out of the trees, almost like a UFO. And you're driving along and you're like, what is this? And then you turn around and it's blinding amount of LED lights. And you probably would want to wear sunglasses. And you just walk up and you're walking around it, and there's like this robotic reindeer talking and elves and all this stuff, you know, right out of, you know, you wouldn't even believe what it's out of, you know. It's like it looks like a cartoon, you know. It looks like, remember those old cartoons they would play that had the abominable snowman that would be stop action? They had like a section like that, and it looked like a real snowman moving around. It's amazing what people are going now. YouTube is going to show a lot of it. They're probably going to show something on YouTube. I could have got maybe an address, but I know the relative area. But to be honest, even though that was an incredible display, it was literally nothing compared to these other people. I mean, they're using digital video, and that's fine. I understand. It's a digital screen. It's got video. It's got a little video playing, and they got cool speakers. But this, what they did was like a theme park kind of thing. You know, you walk this like little cave area of nothing but lights, and it looked all kind of like icy, and you look like you could slip on this thing, like a real ice looking thing, and like real snow looking on the yard. And they went to like major texture, you know, like something that you would see at Disney World or something, you know. But anyway, that was pretty cool. I definitely give it a thumbs up, and we're headed back. This is kind of note to viewer, but you know, I really just kind of do this stuff. I'm not really attempting to be like Stanley Kubrick or something, you know. Or I'd get out there with a rel and, you know, get a tracking shot that would go on for, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes, and, you know, I'd maybe add some fog and, you know, or something, you know, backlighting of my own, you know. I'm really just kind of just showing you what I can show you, you know, in my own way. And there is something to that. There is something to that. Now, of course, you're going to have other filmmakers, you know, everyone from Francis Ford Coppola all the way to, you know, Quentin Tarantino to, I don't know, Fincher, you know, all the way to, you know, freaking Adam the Wood, you know, whatever you want, you know, whatever celebrity you want to watch. And I really don't care. You know, I'm telling you a story. You're probably eating milk and cookies, thinking to yourself, why am I watching this? And frankly, I don't know. But it's interesting, is what I hear. And it's true, it is. Sorry. I sometimes get stuff in my teeth. I think the reason why is because you probably think that I'm joking around, but I'm not. I'm a very well-trained, nearly Shakespearean actor. I've got more training than Keanu Reeves would ever dream of having, okay? With all the movies that he's done. I'm not just picking on Keanu Reeves. He's a good actor. I really love The Matrix, especially the newer ones. And the older ones are really great. But what I'm trying to say is that all of this has been planned out to the Q. Every moment. And I've been waiting my entire life to touch this button so that you can see this face. And every bite that I've ever taken from a hot dog or escargot or from Jason's Deli, or where did I eat today? I ate this really cool Mediterranean restaurant, was all carefully planned so that I could look exactly how I look right now for your entertainment. Now, why did I say that? And why are you laughing? I don't know. I have no answer for any of it. And I'm just glad to be doing it. And I never really had an answer. And when I get one, I'll certainly let you know. But anyway, I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas. And all their Christmas lights are really good this year. Hopefully we'll get rid of this coronavirus sooner or later. And I'm going to turn the light back off because you're not really supposed to do that. But I do it sometimes. You know why? Like I said, when I get an answer, I'll certainly let you know.